So it starts off with this tournament right here. There's Hawk on the left, Robbie all the way to the right, next to this random bum in blue. And we've got Miguel in the back who looks like he just woke up this morning and didn't know what to do with his hair. Bro ran out of VC, couldn't afford to be tatted up like a Chipotle bag and get a fade. You know how much them barbers be charging. Get 5K on the gram and decide to buy a ring light to then charge $100 for just a lineup. They all take their turn to bow down in front of the crowd. And when Robbie bows down, he got a total of 4 claps and 3 let's goes from Daniel Larusso. That's how I knew the writers didn't care about Robbie. He's just there to be a free KD booster for Miguel. Miguel is up first against a random NPC, and this is baby food. Smacking his kicks away, keep that ugly ass fist to yourself. Disciplining this man like a misbehaving child. He needs to learn his manners. We have guests over by the house, don't embarrass me today. His mom can't even be bothered watching, even though Miguel is clearly the one dominating the fight. Blocking and weaving and walking him down. He's not serious. He goes for the left kick, 2 rights, and a spin kick that all get blocked. Miguel stopped using his hands, we're only using our toes now. Misses a headshot, gets blocked, and made him flip and eat the mat for supper. And now he's hyped. They put him up in a fight against Justin Bieber. He can't be having this disrespect. He's competing in the wrong event. America's Got Talent is down the street, little bro. Ref says, kill him. And Miguel goes for some punches, gets dodged, gets them easy blocks, and the dude in the Smurf costume decided to show off. He had literally no reason to do that. He's just being extra. You don't believe me? Watch this. He tries a couple kicks and then hits a useless spin move. He must have been aiming for Angel Reese standing on top of Mount Kilimanjaro. He's out here trolling, but he wants to do it another time. Hits a random backflip and gets hit in the gut. Had him on all 4s, he's out. Next up is Robbie versus Hawk. They walk up and get ready to box. And this right here is proof that they want us to know that Robbie ain't really like that. Cause Miguel just fought and we didn't see him get hit once. But Robbie gets the fight and they wasted no time to make him feel some pain. Made sure we saw Hawk throw him onto his back while having his theme playing in the background. This is what the American dream is all about. Daniel Larusso had to sit up and start gassing him up to give him a power boost. That straight plot armor, all of a sudden he's about to win. Blocks the kick and tells Hawk to stay 5 feet away at all times. And when he closes back in, he has to remind Hawk of the rules. I said 5 feet away at all times. Shit. And now Robbie is talking hot. That ugly ass haircut you got. Dudes score 1 point in the runs, and now they're acting like they're LeBron. Hawk told the ref to move out the way. He too little. And punted Robbie in his back. Had him squirming around on the floor. Toes curled up and all. He's out here struggling. And Hawk gets disqualified. So Robbie wins a match, but bro ain't even win for real. Like I said, the writers always making sure Robbie gets it the worst. He's that Mickey Mouse type stuff. Bro can't even win properly. This is crazy work. Larusso saw that Robbie was about to go up against Miguel and decided to be Robbie's coach. Miguel saw that, looked straight towards Johnny and said, "Oh no, we can't be having that." Started staring down Robbie. Plus, bro took his girl. And Miguel ain't got that AJ mentality, not caring about being the last dude on the bench and still clapping. Nah, he wants his girl back. Walked towards the middle of the mat and squared up. Yes sir, box. Miguel applies the pressure, but he don't know that Robbie was trained by Goku himself, this that UI. Getting pushed back and had this man slide. Had his head down, he's looking for his dignity. Larusso's pointing at Robbie, acting as if he's really out there coaching. But really, he ain't even say anything yet. They get going again and Miguel hits a spin move before getting pressed and had to show off his Latino side, starting in the salsa. He's out here smoothing. Dodges everything, puts his dirty heel to bro's back. Saw that opening and really said he was going to give Robbie a free back massage and told him to sit down. They go again and Robbie blocks the left. The right, easy dodge, block. But this is how I knew Robbie wasn't really about that life. Cause why is he closing his eyes and looking away? Bro wanted that off guard block by any means. This ain't the time to be extravagant. Lock in. Miguel slapped that weak shit, elbowed his arm, sweeped his leg, and Robbie was cooked. He's on the ground holding his chest and gritting his teeth. Out there looking like a child whose dad is forcing him to play a sport. This man Robbie isn't putting in any type of work. Larusso is chatting, trying to give Robbie some advice, while Miguel is looking like a menace, nodding his head and having his back turned towards the so-called competition. Look at the difference between the expression on their faces. Robbie is in straight pain and has to deal with Larusso talking about some remember the bonsai tree and that wasabi you had for lunch, while Miguel is planning to kill this man next round. Robbie gets to meditating, which has Larusso hype, and the ref gives the go-ahead. Robbie blocks the first kick and I was like, oh, hold up. He starts using only one hand to embarrass Miguel. He's not even worth trying against. Grabs onto him and throws him down. He got so mad it looked like he was about to hit the ref. Started fixing his gi. Gotta stay fresh at all times. He charges straight at Robbie, who slides to the right, not even looking in his direction. And Miguel was like, man, stop with all that shit. I'm gonna teach you today. Going to stomp his head, but misses. And Robbie pulls out the one-hand handstand to 2-foot kick him to the ground. And Robbie thinks he's slick, making that LeBron face. acting like this ain't none. He been doing this every day. You know you pull this move out your ass, bro. Even Miguel knew it. Robbie tried to give him his hand, trying to little bro him, thinking Miguel was just gonna be like,
that's a great idea. I'm with that.
But Miguel said nah and dislocated his shoulder. Don't forget I'm taller than you. And Larusso was talking about some Robbie. I'm gonna tell him to stop the fight. Man, ain't your wife over there somewhere waiting for you to sit back down? Go back to the audience, old man. Next point wins, so Miguel moves in fast, gets blocked, kicks the right leg, gets hit with a 360 to the back. And when Robbie tried to put his dirty feet on Miguel, he caught his leg. Had Johnny shaking his head, he knew what was next. Keep them nasty souls out my face and go take a shower. Got all going crazy. And Robbie started hitting that soccer limp to try and save himself from some embarrassment. We move on to this next fight, the infamous school fight, where Tori and Sam are staring each other down in the hallway like this is a 90s Western movie. And at the same time, Miguel and Robbie are sprinting to the scene, trying to show off for their girls. When they go and get some of the meanest head tonight, they're not missing out on this chance. Robbie makes it there first just to see Tori giving his girl absolute work, getting straight mollywopped. He had to throw her off, sent her out the screen, got grabbed by the shoulders, and pushed her against the lockers. Had everyone in the crowd confused. Bro must be living in the wrong era. Your hair is not long enough for you to be putting your hands on her. Someone tries to be chivalrous and gets kicked. And I'm just now realizing that this man Hawk is just standing there. Bro taking up half the screen, acting as if he's just a bystander. We can't miss you, bro. You've got the Himalayas on your head top. You're just gonna stand there and not fight? Miguel saw Robbie's hand near his girl's neck and started moving. Snuck bro from the side. Even had Tori like, damn, was it really that serious? Taking him to the ground. Hey, you gotta do something. Yeah, I'm gonna go get the teacher. So while he's busy snitching, Robbie is getting slapped in his jaw and got lucky he missed the second one. And now Hawk wants to get involved and bro make sure to get back up. And that's all I needed to see. We just witnessed first class evidence of Hawk being a fraud. He was standing in the front lines 2 seconds ago, but now that he has backup, he wants to throw hands. But I ain't gonna lie, he's putting in work, throwing these weaklings to the side, bringing some real fighters outside. This is too easy for him. But y'all must have forgot that this video is about Robbie. This whole fight isn't important for real, so just pay attention to what Robbie is doing. Cause while Hawk is being an S-tier villain, this man Robbie is getting dragged by Miguel. He's lucky he got a punch in. Cause how you gonna let another man drag you like that in front of hundreds of people? Especially since when we see them again, Robbie gets slammed to the lockers, gets picked up, thrown back against the lockers, and slammed in his chin. And look at this. Not only are the riders against him, but so are his hairstylists. This is egregious work. They've got this man wearing a mop on his head. Same thing as the owner of that one nudist club in Zootopia. He's out here cosplaying mid-fight. He not serious. He blocks the left, hits the jaw, and slaps the fist away like a diva. Looking appalled, he even tried it. Ducks under the right, manages to kick him in his chest, going back to hit each other a couple more times before Robbie just launches him against the locker. Had Miguel looking up at the lights, but Robbie's got a point to prove. You see them cameras in the back? He needs his little highlight reel. Picks Miguel back up, throws him against the other wall of lockers, and they get back to boxing. And make sure you pay attention to them in the back, cause while the girls are out here fighting, Miguel is getting them free hits, shaving off some damage. The fight makes its way to the main lobby, where Robbie throws Miguel to the ground and then pushes him against a pillar. You can't cheat your way out of this one. This is kind of ironic, considering that Robbie used to be a criminal. All of a sudden, bro wants to care about the rules. Miguel stops him, grabs his arm, and shuts him up. Your dad don't love you. You see, me personally, I'm not taking that disrespect. And sends him sliding across the hallway to then look up and see his girl fighting and decides to skedaddle. But Robbie had unfinished business. Where you going, bro? Almost took his head clean off and got punted. Miguel hits a double check over the shoulder. Let me take care of this real quick, and passes him to a black hoodie. You can have my leftovers. And got to move into his girl, but it turns out he wasn't trying to help his girl. Saw Tori flip Sam like a pancake and was trying to stop her. Wait, Tori, stop! Bro is playing for the wrong team. Go sit down in the corner and wait. That's when he realized he's been dating a monster. He's regretting his choice in women right now. While Tori's looking at him disgusted, Robbie manages to get away from the low-tier warriors by sweeping one dude's legs and makes his way up to the stairs. And when he gets there, this man looks at Miguel. He can literally see the leg on its way, and he still somehow gets tripped. Bro's athleticism and decided to take a vacation all of a sudden. But Tori was being nice, wanted to give Miguel and Robbie some space to fight. So she grabbed Sam by the weave and dragged her down the steps, moving like this is Super Smash Bros. Went down a level to have more space. Miguel took advantage of this, ran towards Robbie, pushed him, went for 2 kicks, up the Ultra Instinct on him, and got his leg caught. And he started moving like me when I be calling ISO. But instead of snapping ankles, we snapping the kneecap and its ligaments. Say goodbye to your mobility. And add a side of CTE. Had Miguel crawling back in fear. But then Robbie mentioned Sam, so Miguel had to show out. ran back in like a little girl, gets moved to the side, and starts putting in work. Sliding under the punch, making Robbie face plant on the concrete, told him to stop moving with 2 knees to the stomach, because he's about to take this penalty, and bang it into the back of the net, kick Robbie for the goal. And apparently mistook Robbie for the Eiffel Tower, because he aims way too high, looking down like, ooh, my bad, you down there, but your dad and your girl don't love you. And look at Robbie's face. He knows that this is the truth, but he don't want to accept it. Goes for the leg sweep, kicks him in the gut, gets his leg caught, and Miguel must have forgot about the other leg. Gets kicked again, and Robbie started hitting him, claiming them combos. This is a free meal. Hitting him repeatedly. Gets stopped, but that don't work. Kicks the back of his knee, had Miguel proposing to straight oxygen. First person to get married to an element on a periodic table. Goes for the headshot, missed the backhand, was about to treat him like how a Jamaican parent treats their children, but must have made too many eggs.
How much egg you fry? 6 bomber ass clot, pussy bomber blood clot egg.
Gets put against the rail, loses his momentum, and gets put on his back. And started acting like a chef, cause he's cooking them, literally. So we have to cook both sides, even it out. Flipped him over onto his front, bending him down to the cold floor. But then Miguel decides to be the bigger man, both physically, cause we know Robbie is about 5'4", but also the bigger man in this situation. Saw all the cameras recording him in 4K and said he don't want to embarrass bro too much. Dropped his arm and said, sorry little one. He thinks he's Thanos. Only thing he should be snapping away is that fit. Niggas be putting on anything these days. Wearing a trash bag as a hoodie. Just burn that shit, please. But Robbie gets mad, elbowing his jaw, volleying his leg, and kicking him back, making him fall over the railing down to fall with his back hitting the staircase. Had this man laid out. And y'all got to understand that even though Robbie technically won this fight, they made sure it was in the worst way possible. Cause he initially lost and had his cheek touching the dirty floor. People walking from a muddy day outside and rubbing the bottom of their Converses on this ground. But also, Miguel apologized and let him go. And in return, bro sent him to sleep on some stairs. And to make it worse, he ran away. Bro's wins aren't even worth celebrating. We see him in Juvie sitting by himself cause he has no friends. Watching Sam talking about him on the news. She's outside breathing in fresh air. Going to parties, twerking on other dudes. While he's incarcerated, having to worry about finding cockroaches in his soup. But hey, at least he has a better haircut and can actually see while fighting now. Hey bro, seems like your girl don't like white dudes no more. What you do to her? I might need to step in. Take advantage of this opportunity. What time is it? Who you talking to? All of a sudden, Sean ain't laughing no more. He ain't hear a word Robbie said. Bro was just pissed at the fact that Robbie stood up and stayed the same height. That Napoleon complex. Grabbed him and started swinging immediately. Robbie kicks a dude, blocks the hit, ducks under and stepped on his arm with his boot. They're lucky the bottom of his boot ain't have them spikes like in SpongeBob. Robbie gets pushed towards the table. They hit him with a combo, left him discombobulated, and Sean said, oh yeah, I'm on you. Hits him twice in his ribs, hits him against the locker and tosses him over the table. And he might as well stay down there and sleep. Pretend as if he's giving up, cause they got the jumping. Kicking him and stopping him in the middle of the area. And Sean realized that Robbie's legs weren't working at the moment, gave him some assistance. Picked him up and said they gonna need that rematch and gut punched him and had a clear house before the guards pulled up. Robbie walks into the lounge again and Sean is like, bring it. But Robbie ain't about that life. He came here to use the computers to watch Juvie on YouTube. He knows peak. But he heard Sean dap up his twin and he couldn't let that slide. Looked in his direction and knew what he had to do. Decided to sneak him. Kicked him in his nose. Elbow to punt dude back and told the other one he's too little. This that baby food. Sweeped his leg and had him flip off the table. Slides across to deal with the white version of KSI, who told his nigga to wear a headband, and got pushed into the wall by Sean, who gives him a left hook. This the Mike Tyson type haymakers. Robbie tries to kick him, then tries a body check. But this is like Stuart Little trying to move a brick wall. It's impossible. Getting grabbed and running towards the wall to jump up and get away before sending a heel to his dome. Has Sean holding against the wall trying to catch his breath. Tackling Robbie and throwing him against the door. Putting him on all fours. He's going through it. Getting lifted off the ground and Sean thought we wouldn't notice. He's out here aiming for Beijing. In a whole different time zone with that punch. Getting kicked in the side and Robbie started doing parkour. Running off the wall to kick Sean and got grabbed by the neck and dragged off the screen. And they started going crazy. The fight turned into an all-out brawl between the two of them. Robbie gave Sean the signature backhand and they both dropped to the ground before getting separated by some guards. So after 2 fights between Sean and Robbie and Juvie, Robbie ain't win one of them. At this point, he needs to hang up the gi. It's time for him to go back to being a criminal. We skip to the next All Valley tournament, where Robbie is now training under Kreese. And he walks up to go against Kenny, who goes to the same dojo as him. This is what you call friendly fire and child abuse. He's fighting a toddler. They bow and get to work. Kenny starts it off with a kick, and decides to have a boxing match with the oxygen in the room. And he's just getting blocked, smacking all his attempts away, but still gets hit in his chest. Robbie is there looking proud, so Chris had to shut that shit down. He's allergic to happiness. Called Robbie over to the corner and told him to break that little black boy's legs. And that's when Robbie locked in. Adopted the mindset of those people on the bus with Rosa Parks. Ref said, "Aight, box." And bro kicked the shit out of Kenny. Little bro was trying to shake it off, but he don't realize the amount of CTE he's about to receive. This is just the beginning. They go again, and this time Kenny is dodging and getting some blocks, but that shit don't matter. He's about to be in a crazy amount of pain when he wakes up tomorrow. Ref starts it again, and Robbie is walking towards him like Michael Myers, not even putting up his guard. Hits a weave and is staring into his eyes. He's disrespecting this kid for no reason. All Chris said to do was win. What's with the theatrics? Easily dodges the rest of the attacks and pushes him aside. Kenny gets mad as if we scared about. Robbie beat his ass so quick, took no damage, and started hitting that off-guard pose. He knows the cameras are on him. Made sure to get both sides, all the angles. Then told Kane to bring it on. And when Kenny charges at him, he sent him back to the womb. Told y'all he couldn't shake off that CTE. But one of the only fights Robbie actually wins, he had to beat up his friend who is also a child. Bro can't catch a break. Robbie's next fight is against Dimitri. We got this man fighting NPCs now. Robbie goes in for 2 kicks and blocks 2 himself. Goes for the punch and instead gets tossed to the mat and had to get away from the strike. And almost got his neck snapped by Dimitri's long ass toes. And Dimitri started feeling himself, taunting Robbie, acting as if he ain't about to win this. Gets the upper hand, managing to sweep his leg and gets the easy point. Wasting his time fighting SpongeBob in a karate gi. The final is Hawk versus Robbie, since Miguel is out injured.
Miguel!
They both bow and it's time to box. Both going for that leg kick, and Robbie presses Hawk to the edge of the mat and gets the first point and claps in his face. And that's when Hawk hits a timeout. Yo coach, is it possible for me to glue on back my mohawk? I think my overall just dropped by 30 points. No. It starts back and Hawk goes for the left kick. Block, block, hip check. Call me Poe. Goes for a couple more punches. Weave, weave, weave. You know, with the foot fetish, move them toes. And when they both jump in the air at the same time, Hawk is the one that gets the point. But he not taking any more breaks, it's straight boxing. Hawk goes for the spin kick, gets crunched and slammed, and still gets away from the downward punch, but gets pushed back with a kick. And then they decide to give us that slow motion animation. Left kick, block, block, time to up the tempo. Hawk starts applying some pressure, goes for the spin kick which puts them both on the ground, and they get back to it. Robbie hitting that Michael Jackson, hee hee. Tries to go for the kill, but Hawk ain't receiving no more DMs, he's gonna block you. So Robbie tries to drag him down, but neither of them get a hit in. There's that intense fight. Robbie's going for all types of headshots, and even after he ducks under the left. What is this? They must have asked him to hit a pose that allows the most amount of obtuse angles. He out here trolling. Hawk goes for the quick feet, but nothing is working right now, getting shoved away. And a spin move to the chest, but their guard was up. Robbie then gets countered and Hawk just misses. And now I don't even know what's going on. They're just grabbing each other and the bell goes off. So since it's a draw, they've got to go to sudden death. But tell me why they start stripping. Hawk showing off his tattoo. I'm gonna have to play his theme song again. Niggas see some girls and all of a sudden they hot. They didn't take off their shirt. Bro, the AC is blasting. The final round starts and Robbie misses the first kick and decides to distract the crowd from that miss by showing off his vert. Goes for the left and flips off of Hawk's leg, and Hawk put himself in reverse, bounced off the mat back to his original position. And I don't know what his plan was right here, but he gets tackled, and right when Robbie is about to finish the job and get a proper win under his belt, he decides to look up at Kenny and decides now is the time to second guess his actions. Getting kicked off and they square back up. Hawk going back in for some hits, but Robbie eats those. Now you can tell that Robbie's stamina is running low, and they're really just swinging to swing at this point. Something's got to land, right? Robbie blocks the kick, takes out his knee, and ref is like, nah, no point. Giving Hawk the chance he needs to throw Robbie off his game. Going for a double spin kick, goes to the ground until Robbie does stay down. He's a certified loser. We skip forward to Johnny screaming at Robbie and Miguel, telling them to box. Shit ain't sweet out here. Put the fist to right this second. Miguel goes for the left and Robbie hits that copy paste. Blocks twice, straight right. They wasting my time right now. So they up the speed, putting in a bit more work. Robbie puts up 3 kicks back to back, does a spin move and throws a couple punches and oh shit! Bro looking like he's about to sneeze. And he looks up and we find out that there ain't none there. Who was he looking at? But they get back to it with Robbie spamming kicks and swipes Miguel's leg, tripping him over the curb and says, let's go. Just to get kicked in the leg and start shitting himself. He's not about this life. Miguel even manages to get him with a spin kick to send him to the corner, and I was wondering if Robbie was going to lock in. All these kicks and blocks to break his leg and get the high ground to tell him to look to his right, and kicked him through the apartment door. And Miguel somehow tackles Robbie through onto the second floor, while Johnny is down there being the worst father figure I've ever seen. Fight's over while they're still trying to kill each other. Miguel even had Robbie by the railing and was giving him straight haymakers in slow motion, making sure we see it. Kicking Robbie to the ground, and then he said, "Nah, forget it, too much work. I might as well start calling you my twin."